Morning, everyone. Or good afternoon, depending on where you are. We'll give everybody just a few more minutes to pop in here, but I hope everybody's having a great day. We're here in Southern California, where we're about to get the aquapocalypse. So stay off the roads if you're in our area. It's going to be a couple days of rain, so folks tend to overcompensate in some ways and undercompensate in others. So just stay safe. And we're going to have a fun day today, learning a little bit about LinkedIn and what it takes to succeed on that platform. There's a lot to go over here. So if you have some questions, please feel free to pop those into the Q&A, and I'll do my best to get to those as we go. This is a live webinar, so please bear with any potential technical glitches or human glitches as they may occur. But that's part of the fun of reaching out and connecting with people in real time, which is something that I encourage us all to do. And being in the car business, that's something that we need to do. All right, so we've got a few more folks who have joined us, and let's go ahead and get started. They can catch up, and we'll all get the recording as we go here. But we're here today. Thank you for coming and for joining the webinar. You're here today because you care about the success of your dealership and your teams, and you're looking to grow. And the irony is not lost on me that you probably found out about this webinar on LinkedIn, but we're here to enable your entire dealership to present a unified front and to get you set up for success on that platform. And I'm going to dig into quite a bit of information here, but that's why you're here. I'm here because I'm Will Andre. I'm the co-founder and CEO of NodCards. We're a digital branding platform that is really ready to help your dealership get all of the visibility that you deserve with a unified brand presence on LinkedIn and social media. But let's dig in here and let's look at some of the facts. And I think this might be a surprise to some of you. So LinkedIn is actually a gold mine, and I'll let you kind of digest some of these stats, but there is opportunity everywhere. And LinkedIn is basically where your most qualified buyers are, right? So if you think about the types of buyers that you want to attract, they're educated, they're employed, and they're ready to do business. Well, that's where they are on LinkedIn. So just by attending this webinar today and having that mindset, you are going to be giving yourself and your team a competitive advantage for how to leverage this really untapped gold mine of opportunity. So just quickly, 4 out of 5 users on LinkedIn are influencers in the business decisions. This stat astonished me, but it came from LinkedIn themselves. 73% are in the market for a non-luxury vehicle, and 63% of LinkedIn users are currently in the market for a luxury vehicle. So no matter what side of the market you sit on, there is a buyer actively using LinkedIn who you can be going after, and not just a few buyers, many buyers. And LinkedIn is going to be 3 times more effective at driving automotive sales than linear TV and other major social platforms. The tips that you're learning here can be applied to other platforms as well, but LinkedIn is the only one that of the social platforms that actually attaches a business to an employee profile, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind as we go here, just the opportunity and how to present yourselves as trustworthy salespeople and store employees. So there's a couple of challenges that we want to touch on today, and we'll go through these in detail and then how we can address them. The first one is a little obvious, but we see it time and again, and I'll show a couple of examples of this later on. But the auto group versus dealership confusion. So if many of you are probably joining our representatives or GMs or marketing managers at a dealership that's a part of an auto group. And typically what we find is that there is confusion as to where your employees sort of hang their digital hat on when it comes to LinkedIn. So we want to make sure that we are selecting the right page that we want to grow and build up and attach our employees to. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you got to make a decision. And we're advocates for local control, which means that you're probably going to want to have your dealership on its own page. And that's something that's easy enough to do, but sometimes you have to go in and actually claim that page. If it exists already, you'll find that you have employees who are attached to kind of the wrong page, or a deprecated or abandoned kind of phantom page, zombie page. That's something that you want to spend a little bit of time to clean up. The second challenge is the lack of clear direction to employees, and that just comes from having a strategy and being intentional about leveraging LinkedIn for what it is. And you can use those stats that I presented in the first couple slides there to convince your team and maybe your leadership or management that this is something that's worthwhile to you. But just having a clear direction, setting your intention, and I'll give you kind of an example of a message that you can send out to your teammates to get the ball rolling there. And then importantly, inconsistent branding across employee profiles and indeed your dealership profile. That's going to be really challenging to get your arms around and to clean up. That's something that we can help you with here at NodCards. But we'll give you a couple of examples of sort of the what not to do and then the what to do as well. So we're going to dive into each one of those pillars. And like I said, give you some examples, and this is all designed to get you set up for success so that you can kind of hit the ground running and take advantage of what is clearly the LinkedIn goldmine here. So first step is going to be to align on an official company page. That's going to address challenge number one. Second step is going to be to give clear direction to your employees. And the third step is going to be to use high impact branding. And so let's dig into each one of these just a little bit, right? So you're going to need to align on your company page, right? And I've got an example here. This is not to pick on Rusnak. They're a big group here in Southern California. But you can see here that they've got a little bit of some brand sprawl happening, right? So they've got dealership pages, they've got an auto group page, and they are in sort of different states of completion. They got a nice logo on the group page, and a couple of the other stores have logos as well. But then you see some of their more popular stores also have kind of vacant profiles. So it's hard to know whether that's an actual stub, which is a page that LinkedIn creates automatically for an unclaimed business, or whether that's a page that somebody is actively managing. It just hasn't been completed. So you'll need to make a decision. My suggestion is to go to the dealership level to the extent that you haven't already. Create that dealership specific page, and you can obviously in your sort of about section, you can mention that you're part of an auto group. That's just a good way to maintain local control and local visibility. The second thing that you want to look out for is in here, you've got, if you can see this, you've got different industries, right? And so the industry that you want your dealership page to be in is retail motor vehicles. Write that down. There's a bunch of options. There's wholesale, there's retail, there's motor vehicle manufacturing, which you can see this group has indicated that they're not making cars, they're selling cars. So you want to make sure that that's set up. And then you've also got other things in here like automotive, which is too vague. And then you've got retail, that's really for blue jeans and iPhones. So make sure you've got your industry set up properly for the page. The second thing you want to do is make sure that your connections are all valid and current. So if you have a page that's been neglected, there's a good chance that some of the links might not work any longer. So the link back to your website, if you've switched providers or switched URLs or domains, recently, or even in the recent past, make sure that all those connections are pointing the right way or to the right destination, to live links and whatnot. That's a really easy win. Just do a little bit of an audit on that, on those connections for you. And then the third thing you can do, since you're embarking now and you're intentional on your desire to go and leverage LinkedIn as a platform, you can invite page managers, and you can invite them at different roles. There can be page admins, content creators. I would not invite your whole team, just FYI. You don't want the keys to the castle to be in everybody's hands. but maybe a select group of managers who can actually get content up on the page. You probably have a social media team or agency that's doing some of the work for you. Make sure they're on there. They may have access through a third-party posting tool already, but that's just a way to get some help. So you as the GM or the GSM, you're not stuck by yourself having to to maintain the page and get all of your updates in one place. It's just a nice little trick there that not a lot of people know about. All right, so strategy is figure out whether you're going to be part of an auto group or have your employees point their profiles to an auto group or dealership. We recommend dealership. We'll talk about the employee kind of like alignment piece in a second here. Enable the connections, make sure that they're all valid, up to date, and pointing to high value conversions. And then invite people in your team to help manage the page. All right, so the next challenge that we want to overcome is the lack of clear instructions to employees. This is setting your intention, saying, hey guys, we're going to take this seriously now, and here's what I need you to do. So share the market opportunity with your employees and share your business development goals, right? And I've got here on the left just a quick email that you could steal or send a version of it yourself. But in essence, you want to take that dealership page that you just agreed to create, or maybe it's the auto group page, which way, either way, and you want to put that link in an email, a message to your team, and say, hey, I'm encouraging our leadership to begin expanding our presence on LinkedIn. Please make sure you update your profile with your title and your current employer to our page, and then you put that link in the message so that your team members know to go to LinkedIn, and then if they're not aligned to the right page, to then change their status to being a sales manager or a salesperson or service manager, what have you, at your dealership. And then say, hey, we're going to be giving you some great brand assets that you can use to grow, and thanks very much. Now keep in mind, these are all personal profiles. Team members don't have to do that, but your A players will do it. Your B players may follow, and your C players, well, we'll see what they think when they see how the A players are having success. So your gentle reminders, things like that, a great way to make sure that you're maximizing your presence, right? And so you want to make sure that they update their title and their about section. So if they were recently promoted, if they recently changed departments, make sure that's all aligned on their profiles. And again, you can remind them of this in your message to them. You want them to connect your current dealership page to their profile, and then encourage them to use the brand assets that you will be delivering for them. Now, before we get to the impactful branding, we got to talk about the impact of inconsistent branding. And so we've already established that LinkedIn is a home to a gold mine, in fact, of hungry buyers who are ready to talk business, who are well qualified with jobs and on LinkedIn to grow as professionals. And what you have here are examples of a corporate and a personal profile that are dealership and employee profile that are completely burning, the trust that they could be building when somebody stumbles across these profiles. And so, this is what people are seeing day in and day out. And if your dealership is showing up like one of these, there's some work to do, but it doesn't have to be hard. And that's really why, we're here today. And if there's one thing that you take from this webinar here today, it should be this: that inconsistent branding will kill trust in your team and in your business. The gut instincts are never put on broadcast, right? If the trust isn't there at every touch point, they'll go where it is. And so people will scroll through these without a care in the world. But when they land on something where they know that a store has its act together, that's where their trust is just inherently built. So use high impact branding. And this is what NodCards can help you with. So for every employee, they're going to get a branded LinkedIn banner with your store logo on it, with a great high impact visual that comes directly from your store media. And that's something that you can choose, and it goes on the back of all the assets that we create for you. And so that's a great way to unify your brand presence just at that first touch point of somebody landing on a profile, seeing something in their feed and going, oh, what's Chris talking about? And they click on it and they go, oh, great. He's a salesperson. He's a certified salesperson at Porsche. And let me scan this QR code and get in touch with him. I like what he had to say about the specials that they're having this month, or some rare unique inventory that maybe he posted on his feed. So take this and amplify it across your whole employee base, and now you start to see some of the impact of professional branding across your team. And then I'm really excited to sort of debut here. So drum roll, please. We've got these two new features, these two new brand assets that we have just launched unannounced. You're hearing about it here for the first time. And these are social update cards and social review cards. So anytime somebody joins a team, once you get their information put into NodCards, these assets are automatically created for them. And it's as simple as downloading them and uploading them to LinkedIn to share these updates with your team. So that text box there can be completely customized, right? And so you might say, congratulations to Casey, just joined our team. Scan here to get in touch with him, or maybe it's his birthday. Scan here to send him a birthday email. All of these things, all these touch points, then reinforce your brand, and they're dead easy to use. And then the social review card, that's new as well, and that's super exciting, right? Where you can take your latest review from Google or Yelp or for Dealer Trader and just copy that text, put it in the text box. You can say who said it, you can say where they said it, you can say what date they said it, how many stars they gave you, and that asset then just downloads instantly, and you can post this across your channel. So whether that's you as a GM or a GSM, or maybe a slashy inside your dealership who is responsible for managing this stuff, it's super easy. It's right at your fingertips. And in fact, the employees can do this themselves. All of these assets are easily accessible, and I'll talk about that here a little bit more. So NodCards can 10x your brand, and this is what we mean by that. All of these assets are automatically created for every employee. It's very easy for them to access them, to use them. All the QR codes point directly to that employee. It goes back to their digital business card, where all of your high value conversions go. So think about things like schedule service. Think about things like schedule test drive, get directions, send me a message, send me a text, things like that. All of those can go on your digital business cards, and it's all tracked, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But it's all accessible. It's easier than sending an email to your team or to a team member to get them into our system. And once they're in our system, all of these assets are automatically created for your employees. We're going to talk about a couple of best practices here. And so this is kind of like enabling you to, with some tips to get more activity and to get more engagement out of your presence on LinkedIn. We've covered branding. That is a huge part of it. And once you have that lined up and firing on all cylinders, so to speak, see, it's not too early for a car joke. Once you have that all lined up, then your activity on LinkedIn is going to then point to these employees and to your brand base there. So here are some tips that we can help you with in terms of really just information sharing. And this is what's going to help you get your brand out in front of more people, right? So number one is humanize your content. Real faces make real impact. There are studies out there that show that featuring people in your content is 8 times more effective at engagement. And you can look at any of these stats on any of the posts that you put on any other social media platform. And if there aren't people in it, they're not getting engaged with. Your vehicle specials and inventory, those are all worthwhile to sort of stream into or to feather into some of your content. But the stuff that really moves the needle in terms of engagement is the stuff with people in it, not just your people, but your customers as well, right? So what kinds of things can you post? You can welcome the new hires publicly. We showed you a great way to do that with the NodCard social media update card. That's the default setting is, you just click download, that's what comes through, but you can change that message either way. Celebrate milestones and customer stories, right? So delivery content, celebrating a milestone. Maybe it's an employee birthday, maybe it's a store anniversary, maybe it's a new model coming out, maybe you had a party, whatever it is. Use that content that is hyper local. It's to your store, and then what happens is people see people. And they start to flip through it, and they go, "Oh, maybe I know somebody." And they see somebody they know, and then they tag somebody. Go, "Oh, hey, Billy, look, you're in this photo. Looks like you had a great time at the grand opening party or the happy hour that was hosted at the dealership." So it's a virtuous cycle when you start to get people and familiar faces into your content, so that the sort of social impact and the social reach of that all starts to promulgate. And then tag employees, right, and include their NodCards link, especially on delivery content, right? What happens so often is you'll say, congratulations to Mrs. Smith on her new Chevy Silverado. We're looking forward to hosting you back here as a service customer, and in the meantime, enjoy your beautiful new truck. Salesman, Johnny Jones was instrumental in getting this deal done. And they leave it there, right? It's great to recognize Johnny, and the more content that Johnny gets you, the more reward that he should have for getting you that delivery content. The problem is the loop is not closed. There's no call to action in those posts. That's why a NodCards link and putting that into the post, right, and say, hey, Johnny was instrumental in helping getting this deal closed. Click here to work with him. And then that's going to feed back directly to Johnny, where your customers or prospects or anybody seeing that post go, "Oh, hey, I'd like a new Silverado. Mrs. Smith looks really happy. Let me click to get in contact with Johnny." And you start to amplify that over your entire sales base, employee base, and you start to see results really quickly. So activate your employee advocacy, right? So you want to amplify your brand's reach through engagement, right? And there's a feature on LinkedIn called Notify Employees. And so when you post new content onto your feed, when you activate the Notify Employees feature, it's going to send a notification to every employee. So you remember earlier when we were talking about getting your employees aligned with the right company in their profile, the right dealership page in their profile. This is why. So now when you hit notify employees, everybody that's attached to your dealership page on LinkedIn is going to get a notification. Oh, hey, there's new content. And then they'll get that, they'll click on it, and you encourage them to go like, comment, and share that content with their network. And if that's great content, then it's going to do its thing, and it's going to make its way around the internet and around LinkedIn, which is where your qualified buyers are, right? And then if that was something that was included a NodCards link or a QR code, then we're going to show you who's driving engagement, right? So every click on every card gets recorded, and then every action off of that, including the source, comes down off of that as well. So that's pretty cool to see. And speaking of analytics and engagement and what that means for your store, let's look here for a minute at measuring some of the impact. And I'm going to try to leave some time at the end for some Q&A. So if you have any questions, please make sure those are put into the chat here. So we're going to let you see your brand work in real time, right? So branding and brand is kind of a highbrow term. A lot of people don't necessarily understand it. I think they get it when they see it, but in terms of measuring performance of branding, that's something that up until this point has been very difficult to do. But with NodCards, we're going to let you watch your brand grow in real time. So if Johnny is super active on social media today, you're going to be able to check in on that and see it. If somebody else is maybe off that day, you might not see as much action on their link or on their profile. But over time, you're going to be able to see this go up. And it's a really neat thing to see in action. It's something that we're super proud of. Here is a Toyota dealership that we work with. And I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, right? This is Team Toyota Glen Mills. They're in Pennsylvania. They onboarded 53 new team members. And in 30 days, they got over 450 brand views. So that's reaching potential customers and building brand awareness. That's all of the places that they're that their brand is being amplified to, with NodCards. And then look at this customer engagement, right? So in that time period, they got 41 calls and 27 text messages. These are high value conversions, even in today's day and age of all your form fills, which we could talk about that for another time, but calls and text messages, those reign supreme. There was a study put out by Shift Digital recently that said there's been a decline in form fills because there's been a rise of click to call, and with phone numbers on your digital business cards, your sales team and anybody at your dealership is only ever one click away. So a huge win here for this small team, and they're doing really well. Right. And it wouldn't be a webinar without a special offer. And so here it is. So if we can get you started out on our platform this month, we're going to throw in the free desk signs. That means we're going to print them out and we're going to put them in these nice holders. I've got one here. They go right on everybody's desk. It's a great way to sort of transcend the digital, the physical and digital, and bring your employees even closer to your customers, right? So imagine a customer sitting there at a desk. Your employee says, your salesperson says, go ahead and scan my information and save my contact number to your phone, and they can do that directly from these signs. They just scan it with their phone. It opens up on their digital business card. They click one button to download it to their phone to save to their contacts, and now your salesperson is in their contacts forever. And so the next time the salesperson calls, it's going to pop up with, hey, this is Joe. And I remember Joe, I need to get a new car. I need to get in for service. And so again, just building those impressions and that brand recognition. So I'm going to check the Q&A here real quick and see if we've got anybody else. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them into the Q&A. Wait a minute here. Yeah, okay, and I got a question. This is a great question. So, is there an app to download? What's the deal? No. So this is by design. NodCards is completely self-contained at the management level. So if you have sales manager or GSM or even a marketing manager, you can add them as administrators to your NodCards account, and there's nothing for your team members to download. It's all set in a centrally managed place, so that there's no risk of kind of brand sprawl or any of that. And then obviously if they need any changes, they want to add their mobile number, it's super easy to do. You just log in, you add a link to that person's mobile number, and that's it. So, and then all the assets as well. So all of your social sharing images, right? So your social update, your review cards, your LinkedIn background banner, all of that is easily accessible on one link for your employees just to go and grab, and nothing to log into or anything. So that's a great question. Thank you. All right. Well, that brings us right about to the midway of the hour. And this is me. This is my contact information. This is my desktop sign sitting here with the QR code for you to scan and save to your phone, which you're going to do right now. I'll give you 3 seconds to do that. And this is how you can get in touch with me. We'd love to get you onto a demo and show you some of the back end for how all of this stuff is created. Here's my phone number. Give me a call anytime, and we would love to have you on board. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you around soon. Thanks.